Okay, so behind me is a map of the Web3 environment. This is a part of the metaverse, and this is also a part of the social ID or credit system that hasn't officially rolled out. It's a part of our new digital identification that encompasses your genetic information, your health passport. So that would be like, when you go get an injection for the COVID virus, and they give you your little certificate that says that you have received the vaccine. That information would go there. Eventually, I think it would be all your electronic health records. You've seen Palantir go to the UK and receive contracts to manage their electronic health records, or a part of their health record system there. And this is something that they're pursuing everywhere. They want to, as a private company, run our public health services. And in the background, because they have access to the metaverse and these databases, or even these sensor networks, they are coaching other people in these groups on how to steal identities in order to access these resources. And this is a part of their understanding of abundance, or how they manifest abundance. All of the conversation that you see these people on the bottom of the pyramid having about manifesting abundance and energy, and a lot of their spirituality is just conversations that the tech bros are having, and then it gets distilled down into spirituality. So the energy that they're talking about is actually from the metaverse. It's our electrophysiology. It's our bioelectric energy that they're talking about, which gets picked up by sensors and sensor networks, okay? That's a long conversation about biomechanics, the bioeconomy, a bunch of research that's going on at DARPA and the universities, and it's related to the brain-machine interface, or the brain-computer interface, which you would have access to as well once this officially got rolled out to the rest of society. So in the metaverse, they have access to your genetic information, which is for regenerative medicine, or for cloning of cellular morphology, which is why you see all these celebrities showing up looking wonky. They are cloning the cellular morphology of other people, okay? The health passport, the Web3 cloud, where they're storing all of the information and the sensor data that they're picking up. And this is also where all the data from their surveillance abuses go. Again, the brain-machine computer interface. This is where they do all of their neural and cognitive or psychological warfare from. This is why these people think that they are receiving telepathy from source, but it's synthetic or conceptual telepathy. And it's because they're all hooked up, tethered, is what they would be recognized as, to the Web3 platform. Fingerprint. So when they steal identities, they want to have access to your fingerprint, which then gives them access to all of this. So your digital fingerprint is like your cryptographic access key, like it's just, your authorization to have access to all of this. And they obviously have to steal your identity in order to set up their profile, right? And they'll set it up as the stolen identity so that they have access to all of this. But all of this is connected to the actual physical entity, which is you, your physical body and your brain and your mind and your activity. Then they have the social credit and the carbon credit. So this is all a part of I think it's some 2030 agenda or something like that. The bio-digital convergence that they're rolling out. So all of these people that I'm posting are affiliates, operatives, of a surveillance abuses-based Ponzi, and that Ponzi or algorithm or conversational circuit operates out of this environment. So when you hear them talking about organized crime, stealing identities, marriage certificates that are false, death certificates, it's all concocted so that they can have access to this. And from this is where they engage in the rest of their stalking, the rest of their predating, the rest of their copycat or clone-like behavior. And this is not just, them stealing your identity and personality in spirit, where they perform your character. It's also them stealing, genetic data so that it can be turned into therapeutics. They need a lot of people's stem cells. What is it? Pluripotent stem cells. They can use it to sort of like clone and become anything else. 23andMe had a big issue with that. And one of the community managers over at YouTube, or the CEO of YouTube, used to be on the board of 23andMe, or is. I'm not sure what is going on with that company. But all of that is related because YouTube is a big part of the multiple perpetrator stalker network, and they provide a home or a setting for these affiliates and these criminals to steal identities and then to launder their targeting of that identity into monetizable content. So it actually helps with the engagement on their platforms and gives them more visibility and reach as people that are trying to make it on social media. It provides them a growth hack. And that's what a lot of these platforms are coaching these people on how to do. You can be a part of our chosen representatives and social media influencers. We only want who we want to be, to be seen and to speak. And for the people that we don't like, we'll allow you to target them and suppress them. And you can subsume their identities, just clone them and pretend like their identity, personality, aesthetic, ideas, thoughts, life story are yours. We'll get rid of that problem, and you'll just be the official representative of that thought as our hired, controlled opposition. Okay? And when they're doing the targeting, they'll do all of it through here so that they can access your devices and send you personally identifiable information as sort of a trigger to psychologically imbalance you. And that's what they call spiritual warfare. So again, when you hear these people talk about stealing identities, they're stealing identities so they have access to your profile in the metaverse so that they can control you through the virtual, through the metaverse, through your digital ID that hasn't been rolled out officially to the public. That's your social credit, your carbon credit, your brain machine interface, which you would have for personalized medicine and cognitive care in the future, and as a personal AI co-pilot, one that would know your mind, your thoughts, your body, your health, all of that, and be able to interact with you and coach you, guide you, like a Jeeves of a personal butler of sorts that knows you inside and out. Your fingerprint, where it's stored, your health passport, which is why they want to, trade records, health records with people, right? So if there's somebody who has, say, an incurable disease and they want to come off as if they don't, they would switch things up there with other people's identities. And then your genetic data, which is being stolen and trafficked for regenerative medicine and for therapeutics. And so that people can use other people's cellular morphology as a reference to heal themselves in their personalized therapeutics and regenerative meds.